In the depths of Craftworld Ulthwé, the Eldar Farseer Taldeer foresaw the return of the Necrons and their campaign of galactic genocide. She had driven the Imperial Guard on Lorn 5 against this ancient foe, but the threat remained real. When the Necrons rose on Cronus, Taldeer faced a new problem. This planet on the galaxy's edge was beyond the reach of the Eldar webway. Instead of traveling from the Craftworld via this ancient system, Taldeer's forces arrived aboard her wraith ship, the Vision of Lilith. This alien vessel hid at the edge of the system while an advance party took a small shuttle to the frozen wastes of Tyria. There, they erected special gateways linked to the holds of the Vision of Lilith. The Eldar found the planet in a sorry state. The Necrons were on the march, and the assortment of other powers on Cronus could not be trusted to stop them. Abandoning her habitual manipulations, Taldeer ordered her forces to begin an all-out conquest of Cronus. If none of the Mon-Kai would stop the Necrons, the Eldar would do it themselves.
Alrighty folks, welcome to the Dark Crusade Eldar edition. So for this map, we're kind of going to want to try and get as close to the Necrons as possible, because all the goodies are basically around this location. So these two only give us veteran ranger squads, but they're the easiest lands to take. And then we've got the spaceport, which we want. Fire Dragon Exarch, hell yeah, sign me up. The 1000 requisition would be hella useful. Warp Spiders, 100. Banshees. We've got the Fury, and then we've got the Warp Spiders as well, and I think there's a Wraith Lord down here and a Reaper. So there's lots of interesting things in this map. The Warp Spiders, oh yeah, the Seer Council will also be super useful. But we're going to start over here in the Demes Northlands. Let's begin. Enemy has a single base. Lovely. Alright, let's start by building an aspect portal. Man, starting with 0 troops, woof. It's like a full campaign reset. Oy oy oy. Should probably figure out where our enemy is. So I'm just going to send Taldeer off just to have a quick gander. No such teleports with the Eldar, so I'm going to have to reveal the map the good old-fashioned way. I actually starting to appreciate just how good having Scarabs being able to capture points is, because it means you can capture points without having to use your army. Now that we're playing a more traditional faction, that is no longer going to be an option for us, so we kind of have to make a choice. Do we want to get requisition, or do we want to build an army basically and take down the enemy? So rushing is going to be very much more challenging. And we've also got the 2 resources instead of just the 1. Still, I'm going to attempt some rushdowns just to start things off. I still think there's some benefits in doing that. I definitely want to get the plasma grenades if we're utilizing that kind of strat. Call this Team 2. Everyone else can be Team 1. Well, that's absolutely rinsed my resources. So these cost 80. Okay, good to know. Alright, so definitely in the right direction. I reckon they'll probably be here, to be honest. Possibly there. I guess the one good thing is, even though this we're playing a different faction, I'd imagine the map layout in terms of the spawns will probably remain the same. Which means we have a pretty good idea of where our enemy spawns on most of these maps now. Okay, we'll send these boys around just picking up points. Kind of curious to see how the war gear actually varies from faction to faction. Whether it's like completely tailored, or whether it kind of follows the exact same setup. Pop for something. Okay, so I think we need a Seer Council if I'm, or a Soul Shrine even. God, that's expensive. And we need power.
To the front. Rush the enemy position. Take the battle to the enemy. Take the battle to the enemy. Take the battle.
Let them go. I just want to find where their base is.
Rush the enemy.
I'm going to assume it's actually up here. I don't really care about the scout that much. I'm going to assume their base is up here on the north. Hopefully we can give it a good old kick in. To remember how you actually gain extra unit caps. I think it's from the Soul Shrine, if I remember rightly. Dun dun. Okay, cool. We found that base. That's good. Love this track, by the way. Definitely the best track of the game, in my opinion. Da, da. Grenade! Grenade! Okay, not fantastic at taking down bases, but... or buildings. Well, they'll go down eventually. Just need to make sure that we don't get, Cost 200. Oh my god. Wow, okay. We need to jump on power earlier than I thought then. Oh yeah, Mind War, hell yeah. Luckily, grenades make short work of all of their units. Just want to be careful of the listening posts. Okay, definitely way less effective at destroying buildings in the early game are the Eldar than our Necron compatriots. Well, nemesis, adversaries. Dark Reapers are awesome, but it takes a while to get them, and they're very expensive. Da, 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 da. Okay, so how's gone up? Why? What caused that to increase? Yeah, I'm not actually sure how you increase the unit cap with this faction, which is a problem. It's not, in my opinion, very clear. Like, it just jumped up, but I don't know why. Still, GG's. Take that. Lovely jubbly. Let's check out the new war gear. What have we got? Okay, melee damage. To be ranged. Okay, it follows exactly the same pattern then. So, regeneration of Farseer and nearby allies, that's interesting. Reveals infiltrated units. Percent against ranged. Ability recharge rate, that'd be useful. Greatly improves health. Increases recharge rate. Ability recharge, okay. I'm gonna go with, I think, the swords. The melee, upgrades seem to be really effective as the Necrons, so I'm gonna roll with that. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay. Space Marines lost against the Imperials. Interesting. And no one else did anything. Okay. Interesting. Alright, we want to take the next Ranger squads. Single base, lovely. Okay, I think we can call that Team 2 actually. Taldeer, Team 1. I actually can't remember on this map where the enemy spawned, so we're just going to have to wing it. Let's get an aspect. Portal. Building webway gates. Right. Webway gates is how we increase our unit cap. Good to know. Okay, I'm going to grab a second Bone Singer this time. I'm going to grab Reapers nice and early, because I think Reapers will be way more effective at taking down buildings. Wow, okay, rude. That was highly unexpected. It's a bit of a problem. Okay, well, I guessed wrong, for sure. On the plus side, they've kind of thrown all their army away, which is, you know, we'll take that. Oh man, there's 70? Dude, woof.
We must hold the enemy back. Position. To the front. Rush the enemy position.
Okay, that was a interesting start for this mission. Right, so their base is over here then. That is crazy close. God damn, Reapers are good. Also, my hero looks like she's hitting for about 100. The swipe. Which is very nice. Okay, one good thing is Reapers don't actually cost power. Also, that's a lot of defenses. I'm definitely now appreciating more and more the strength of the Necrons in the early game. They'd have just bulldozed their way through these opponents. Whereas now we have to fight a little bit more respectfully. In fact, I'm going to get rid of Taldeer so that we can revive her. She comes back at full health. Be super helpful to tank the next turret. You actually have to revive her, I see. Oh, she's well expensive. Okay, that was a mistake. Haha! That is 240.80. Okay, that's more expensive than Necrons by a mile.
Rush the enemy position.
We are going to need her in order to take down the turret, though. Have they got second base or something? Oh no, they're just scouts, so...
Take the battle to the enemy.
Grenades in the early game are crazy powerful. Wait, what? Really, in front of me like that? That is rude. I think not.
Rush the enemy position.
How long before Taldeer's back up? Right about now. Good. Question is, does she spawn... Okay, from there. But it's not like they've got anywhere to go. They're pretty much, it's the only route in and out of this base. On the plus side. Oh, I'll tell you what would be useful actually, if we built a webway gate like here, and then we could just start teleporting our troops.
We must hold the enemy back.
God damn, those turrets do damage.
Rush the enemy position.
I'm gonna assume they've got like a money issue because they're not building. Well, I know we took out their chapel barracks, but they're not even rebuilding it as far as I can tell.
To the fight. Rush the enemy position.
Charge the enemy.
They do have a librarian, that's a bit of a problem. Well, that should be the last of their defenses. Guess apothecaries do attack. Damn, they got a chaplain as well. Guess that sacred thing was bit of an issue with them getting up. Stormed him! Alright, let's see if we can get Taldeer back. I need her to take down these heroes. Yeah, this is way more challenging now we're not playing Necrons. Which also shows the strength of Necrons as a faction. Woof. Now, since we're in it for the long haul, let's start capturing some strategic points. There's one like that. On the plus side, if it comes to defending this land, at least we'll be very well protected. I'm surprised how they can get a chaplain so fast, though. That's a certainly an interesting strategy. Let's put it that way. I guess we kind of forced them into that kind of play once we took out their chapel barracks, but still. Alright, we need to get some more advanced troops. Howling Banshees would be good as well, actually. In fact, at this point, Banshees are probably the better option. I suspect they would do more damage against buildings as well. Alright, we can cripple them by taking out their energy. Power production. Right, finally got a decent income. When cast on enemy builds, unable to produce units, perform research. Wow, that's actually pretty annoying if you're an enemy. Whoa, 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 what the hell? Grey Knights! I'm just against one person, aren't I? What the hell? Why are they coming from that direction? Wild. All right, we've learned a few do's and don'ts in this mission so far, which is great. Okay, do get Howling Banshees. Don't let the enemy get a sacred artifact up. Do definitely get lots of Reapers. Okay, they must be producing these out of some building then over there. Jesus.
The enemies of man cannot stand before us.
Ooh, fire dragons. That might actually be a game changer if we can get them. Okay, so these guys have got like a charge. Good to know. Oh my, they've got a machine work. Okay, they've got an entire base up here then. Wow. This is only the second mission. Although I suppose in some ways it gets harder the first few missions because you don't have your honor guard, or you still sort of get into terms with the faction. Still though, woof. On the plus side, at least we're having some good fights. Definitely need these fire dragons though. Deal with these tanks, the dreadnoughts. Well, colour me impressed. This has been a good fight. We've put up a hell of a fight, actually. Oh, we need to rebuild our thing. So let's put another webway gate down here. That should deal with this. Wow. Managed to break close combat at least. Actually, these dragons actually aren't that expensive, surprisingly, considering how good they are. Right, so we need to take care of that base in the north that they've got. It's like they've completely abandoned that other base and just completely relocated. It's impressive. Oh, now they're trying to steal my points. Hell no. Alright, well I think I can tailor myself a bit of a better way of taking down enemies in the early game now, based on what my experience of this particular mission. That was interesting and impressive from the enemy. I'm not gonna lie. Right, I need to not lose these points. Oops. So Fire Dragon's definitely one of the go-to units against Space Marines. Okay, I'm pretty sure they've gone up here. Any scouts? Should be able to kill the scouts. Right, this base up here, we need to take that the hell down. Rebuild this. What a cool little fight for the start this campaign. We've got Space Marines up here as well. Okay, we need to get a support base that we can start building. Oh, they took my soul shrine out, didn't they? Alright, we've got this in the bag now. Let's get Taldeer up as well. Well, this has been an eye-opener of a mission, that's for sure. It's also very impressive from what the enemy was able to do with, honestly, so little. I genuinely thought I had them killed, and they managed to sneak off a base and. Well, of course, I've taken the whole map, so, well, pretty much. So if we do have to defend this region, which we may well do, be a hell of a lot easier. Okay, they definitely have zero chance now. The sneaky proxy base, though, that was, I did not expect that to be in the AI playbook. That's a human move right there. It's the kind of shit I'd see in PvP, not skirmish against the AI. Cool, though. Knock this sacred artifact out, make sure they don't get any more chaplains or anything. At least we've got some high building DPS now. With the red dragons, the fire dragons even. Goddamn fire dragons are good. Absolutely just ruin the enemy. And a fitting soundtrack to go out on. Ta-ta. Beautiful. Oh, on the other plus side, at least it's counted quite well towards my kill 5,000 units and whatnot. So there is that. Every cloud. Alright. Enter and see what happens. Ah. Imperial's kicking chaos. Interesting. Reduces the cost of garrisoning troops in provinces. Yeah, that one's not really that great. Certainly not compared to Spaceport, which we're going to do next. Enemy has 2 large bases. Right, so we just need to capture 6 servitors. So this one actually should be pretty straightforward. Might not even have to do that much fighting. Got that team 2, team 3, team 1.
Well done. Return the human to the webway assembly. One of the human servitors has arrived at the webway assembly, but more are needed to make use of this place.
Right, we need to build a army to roam around. I'll try and remember where the servitors all are. I mean, last time I think I nabbed them from the enemy base that was up here, which I guess is a viable option. I think there might be one down here. There's probably one up here somewhere. Grab some howling banshees. There's one.
Well done. Return the human to the webway assembly.
Wondering if we build like defenses over here, just in case the enemy decides they want to attack us and steal our doodads.
One of the human servitors has arrived at the Webway Assembly, but more are needed to make use of this place. I see our enemies have found a servitor.
If we intercept, I assume the base is in the same spot, which was like over here when we played as Necrons. So if that's the case, the only path they'll be coming through is here. We can nab him, make it Mars, hopefully. Grab some Banshees. Oh, invisible dudes. I see.
Kill what you can't see.
Are we against Tau?
For Tau!
Okay, yes, we are.
Well done. Return the human to the Webway Assembly.
Okay, these Tau dudes are kind of annoying. I guess we can
One
throw
of the
over
human
grenades.
servitors has arrived at the Webway Assembly, but more are needed to make use of this place.
So they've got two. Maybe they've taken it to a different base. They had like they've got two large bases, right? And I'm pretty sure they've got one in the middle. Okay, let's go build some plasma shrines. So there is a base there, but they don't have... Oh, yoink.
Well done. Return the human to the Webway Assembly.
Alright, let's pinch theirs. Might be a good play, I think.
We must hold the enemy back.
Well, maybe we should get Fleet of Foot. Whatever that ability's called.
One of the human servitors has arrived at the Webway Assembly, but more are needed to make use of this place.
Take the battle to the enemy. Rush the enemy's position.
We must hold.
Well done. Return the human to the Webway Assembly.
Human. Guess there was a dude there. I guess stealing there too would give us all the dudes we need. I think we one short. I think we just picked one up.
Take the battle to the enemy.
Okay, they are.
Take the battle.
There's one here.
Well done. Return the human to the Webway Assembly.
Chop them up.
One of the human servitors has arrived at the Webway Assembly, but more are needed to make use of this place. I see our enemies have found a servitor.
I wish you still had vision of the servitors that you've actually picked up. Guess we'll just keep them busy so they don't chase after the servitor, though I've no idea where he is now. Okay, well there's one. Oh, that's the last one. Sweet. Mission accomplished, boys.
We have enough of the humans to retrieve their databanks.
Beautiful. I was going to say, is this going to end, or...? Nice. Spaceport is ours, boys. Spaceport is ours. Which lovely it is. Alrighty, folks. Well, that'll right about conclude the first episode of the Eldar campaign in the Dark Crusade. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, I shall see you in the next video.